Good evening, lecturers. My name is Tzyy Long. So today I'm going to present about my final presentations, which is the final projects for my Design Studio 2. Sorry for not opening webcams because my laptop doesn't have any webcams. I'm just gonna talk briefly about our projects. So basically, our project is to choose one client, and it can be anyone. Based on our clients' occupations, we are required to design a space fit the specific needs of our client, as for them to rest and have spaces for activities, working, and space that the best fit the need of our client. So my client's name is Red Hong Yi. She was born in 1986, Kota Kinabalu, Malaysia. In 2004, she attended the foundation program at Trinity College, Australia. And after a few years of studies, she graduated with a Bachelor of Planning and Design in 2007, and also a Master in Architecture in 2010 from University of Melbourne. After she moved to Shanghai to work for Australian architecture firm Hassel, the environment in Shanghai really inspired her to start to create artworks so that documented this new chapter of life. And she began to upload videos on her work on YouTube that got her famous. So the next one will be, I'm going to talk about concept and ideations. So basically my client, my concept is based on my research on her artwork, and I can notify that every single pieces of her artwork had a similarity of grid organization, which means square to square. And this is the part where I got my concept from. And from here, I decided to start using grid system to develop my design in terms of space and facade. So this is the first stage of my design concept. So basically, you can see this is a zoom in of our artwork. It's got a lot of grid organizations. And moving on to my concept stage one. So I just basically drew out the basic shapes of the grid systems. And moving on to the second stage of my concept, which is placemaking separated into 4 spaces to suit our design requirement by towering it up to form a space. And moving on to my final stage concept, which final shape is done. Next one, moving on. Also, where is it? Our site is located in Pradana Botanical Garden. So it's basically in KL. And our site placement is in the island of Bamboo Playhouse. This is a bamboo playhouse. The site boundaries, which had a total area of 1,896 square meters. And the buildable area inside the setback is about 1,418 square meters. And this is site analysis I did. So the sun is rising up from here, the morning suns, and then the afternoon sun, 12 p.m. noon will be over here, and the sunset will be over here. So the wind path will coming from north side. This is a urban playhouse. And next one will be bubble diagrams. So the level 1 of my bubble diagram, the main entrance will be over here. So the people can access through here, and the main door will be over here. Going in will be the gallery, and will be a public toilet inside the gallery. The public toilet area will be over here. And this moving on to second entrance area for my client, which is for her to access through living and dining, and also kitchen, and also master bedroom and bathroom. And from my gallery space, you have a level 2 story. So if you go up here, you can access to her workspace and also storage. Moving on to space and adjacency matrix. So the biggest space will be art gallery and workspace. It's about total 78 square meters. And moving on to living and dining will be 42 square meters. And the next one will be master bedrooms and also guest room will be 36 square meters. And at last, the smallest area will be the kitchen, which is 16 square meters. Okay, moving on to site placement consideration and also site plans. So for my site plans, I consider 2 site placements, which both has its own advantages and also disadvantages. So the first one has its own disadvantages, which means the master bedroom placing is too near to within the trees, And also the walkway is difficult to relocate it. For the second one is has a good and also advantages. So it's a good placement to allow the relocated walkway to be organized neatly. And also the building is placed in the middle of the site. And this is the final site plans I did. So as you can see, this is access bridge number 1. People can access through the island over here. And this is access bridge number 2. And this is the payment playhouse. This is the walkway for my clients, for her to access through living and dining, the kitchen area, and also the bedroom area. This is the public walkway for the people that can visit the gallery house. And moving on to the exact final 4 plans I did for my projects. So the first one is the art gallery. So the main entrance will be over here. This is the sliding door, and people can go in over here, looking up some artworks and also drawings, and they can have a public toilet if they need it. And these are the columns. This is a walkway through this indoors walkway. And also this walkway is for my client for her to access through the living and dining, and also for her to access through the master bedrooms, guest room, and also bedrooms. And for this is for her to cook something and then make some coffee over here. Moving on to the level 2. So this is the client can go up over here, and this is a workspace, and this is a storage where she can store all her materials and stuff over here. And I also draw out the roof floor plans and also label it with arrows so that it's not flat, it has a slope over here. So the arrow is facing over here, so that means the roof is sloping over here, sloping, and has a gutter at each side. It's a gutter. Moving on to elevations. So this is my elevations, east elevations. This is the north elevations. This is the south elevation. This is the west elevation. And moving on to interior perspective 1. So as you can see, I created these spaces. As you can see clearly that it has a indoors walkway. So when it rains, it doesn't really come inside the walkway, so that they can wait outside over here and then go in to have a visit inside the gallery. These are the columns, and also the sun in the noon sun. The sun doesn't really really brights out inside this gallery, and also not very hot because of these columns and also overhangs of the roof. And then moving on to interior perspective number 2. So this is stairs where my client can go up over here and access through her workspace. This is the benches for a guest or a client over here to sit or talk to discuss. And this is the table for her office table for her to do some paperwork. This is a glass storage for her to store all her materials or her artwork materials. As you can see, these are some overhangs. So the sunlight in the noon sun doesn't really brights out directly inside this workspace. So it doesn't really looks hot. So moving on to exterior perspective. So from this perspective, I want to show that I have recreated some one stone path walkway for my clients, and also add some lightning walkway for my client to access easily when it comes to nighttime, for her to access to living and dining area. And these are the red bricks facade, and these are the downpipe for the gutter water flows down. These are the wall washing lightnings. Moving on to section perspective. So for this perspective, I want to start talk about the red brick columns and also red brick beam. And I use that the dimension is around 300 mm red brick columns and also 300 mm red bricks beam. And for my floor details, is about one layer of plywood floor finish and one layer of waterproofing and also 15 mm lean concrete. And the last one is 250 mm compact hardcore. And moving on to the last one is 325 mm thick screeding with brushes finish and 50 mm lean concrete and also 200 mm compact hardcore. So these are the beams. From this perspective, it doesn't show the roof. It's flat. For this one, it shows my roof is around 36 degrees slope for my roof, so that the water doesn't can the water really can flows into these gutters. Consider the surrounding has a very moisture of the environment, and these are the gutters. And for my roof structures, or construction details, I had used a one layer waterproofing membrane and 150 mm of thick RC slab and 25 mm thick base screeding. And moving on to my section XX, and I'm using the pad foundation footing. As you can see, this is a beam. Moving to section YY, and this is my roof structure. It has a 36 slope roof to ensure the rainwater flows into the gutters each side. And the walls, I'm using the reinforced concrete walls, and this area is for public toilet area. And yeah, for my interior of the floors and also for the walkways, it has a 50 mm high rise in the ground, so that when it rains, it doesn't really soak inside this gallery. So last one is my clear image of my exterior perspective. As you can see, this is a walkway, stone walkway, the access through for the public people to access through the gallery, and this is a lightning walkway. People are taking photos of this facade red bricks, and this walkway is for my clients to access through this living and dining area, also master bedroom. And these are the wall washing lightnings, and these are the downpipe for the gutters, waters to flow down. And I name it a Perdana Art Gallery is because the Perdana is considered the Perdana Botanical Garden. So I name it as the same first capital of the name of as Perdana. And the R means my client's first name, which means a red. And the gallery is the main focus. I want people to know that. And the last one I want to show is my a board I did. So this is